and welcome to Center Stage with Angelina and Remi. And today, Remi has a very, very interesting episode lined up for us.
Yes, I do. We're discussing anxiety disorders, and they are fascinating, yet they are just very, I guess, stress-inducing, or just anxiety-inducing. Angelina, would you like to share with us what is the difference between anxiety and stress, or is there any difference at all?
I believe there is a difference, and I guess I would think that the difference between stress and anxiety is that stress is something that we commonly have in our lives because different things kind of go on at different times. And although I don't think stress is always a bad thing, but anxiety is I would think, is like the next step up. It's when it's kind of an obsessive, where it is very damaging. That
was well stated. One of the things that's different is that stress is often about something that we don't even get to make a decision about. Let's say you are stressed out because of your job. Well, okay, there's probably right this minute not much you can do about that stress. It's there. You can learn coping skills to make it much better. But the anxiety is something that you said is so true. It's kind of one step up. Anxiety is more of an internal reaction.
Okay.
And I hate to say it's like panic disorder, but I think most people know what that is. We'll be talking about that down the road. But there can actually be chemical changes in your system, and you get more and more anxious. So, anxiety is sometimes isn't founded always in truth. You may say, well, why are you anxious about that? And someone will go, well, it's just upsetting. I'm very anxious. What's going to happen? And a friend might say, well, you can't change any of it. It's just what it is.
Right, okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
But we're doing anxiety disorders. There are no stress disorders under anxiety disorders. The first one is, these aren't really done in order, but is separation anxiety disorder. And me being the animal lover that I am, my best example is, what does your dog do when you leave the door, go out the front door for 8 hours? So we have, or professionals have taped what animals go through. Not so much cats, because cats really are, they're
chill. Independent, yes, and kind of can take after themselves.
I've seen them get stressed a little bit, but they don't have it like dogs do. Dogs, you walk out the door and they literally become absolutely, completely flooded with anxiety. And it is very sad. If you see some of the films, they run in a circle. They do things that are very, very dysfunctional.
Oh, wow.
And so it's a real thing, but it is something that you can improve on with the right kind of coping skills.
Okay.
You start to replace those feelings with feelings of, let's say, safety. And understanding. Maybe not your dog will get it, but your children will eventually understand you're coming back.
Right.
Where animals don't know that. And so that's separation anxiety. Selective mutism is another one that is not heard about very much.
I don't think I've ever heard that. I don't recognize that at all.
It's really about children. And it's about children that are unable to, when they get out of their comfort zone, to speak. They really, truly cannot do it. As I said to Angelina before we started taping, it sounds like it's something that you get to choose. Oh, goody. I can choose to be selectively mute. And that's not really what it's about. It's kind of misleading. But it is about children that are fine with doing and speaking at home. But when they get to school or wherever they go for the day, that is sometimes just paralyzing to them, and they really can't speak.
Do you think it's because of the environment that causes that?
It's really more about the child.
Oh, okay.
But the child is in the environment, so yes, it is about the environment also. Because if you take them and put them back at home, that's
then
why so many parents don't realize that there's a problem. And this is when good teachers come into play.
Right.
And in my family, there's several teachers, and they are all wonderful teachers, and they would pick up on that. If a child was just seen paralyzed, couldn't really speak. But that's why it's so important for parents to work with the teachers to, be sure everything is going well. And but you can kind of see how both ends. The parents at home think the kid is fine because they get home and seem all right. Then they go to school, and a lot of times, and I might too, teachers would say to themselves, well, this must just be the way they are, just their personality. So there's a lot of that going on. It always helps to get to know the parents better and to get to know the child better. But there are a lot of teachers who are very, very intelligent and know when something continues and is not
and knows
right.
the right questions to ask and when to ask them.
Especially if they're in a special needs class. And that's where they really watch for those kinds of things. But anyway, so there's a couple things I think that are kind of right up there. But the separation anxiety is not uncommon in the least. Selective mutism is much less of a problem. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And next time we'll talk more about social phobia.
I'm eager to hear about that.
Yes, I know someone who suffers from that, and it can be really difficult on everyone involved. So that's what we'll be talking about next time.
All right. See you next time.
Thank you.